Well, welcome to Once Upon a Weird,
Episode
if
1.
episode 1.
No.
So,
Which I do
ver
think it's really funny that we somehow all we kind of went into it just thinking we would do something local to the Pacific Northwest, and we all are going to do lakes.
I like it.
yes.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah. I mean, we kinda just all picked something out of the blue that we found personally fascinating and
It's the end of summer. We're celebrating the things that are local to us and, what we've heard of all summer long.
mhm.
Moving along, shutting down summer. That's what we're doing.
Ready for spooky season.
Mhm.
the burrs.
The hoodie weather.
Mm,
Yeah, as
all the
we're all in
hoodies.
hoodies.
It's like
Solid.
sweater weather, but it's better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the West Coast version of sweater weather.
It is. It's
Yeah.
hoodie weather.
Yep.
Truly.
Um, well, as some may not know, as this is our first episode, we are not random acquaintances. We happen to be sisters.
Yep.
Um, I'll
Sometimes.
take a seriously. We I can't take you back. I never got the receipt. I didn't pay for you anyway, so
Mm, it's true.
I was last to the party. So,
Priceless. That's why, because I'm priceless.
mm, that's it.
That's what it is.
yep.
They don't refurbish from the
They don't.
1900s.
No.
God, the
You get what
1900s.
you get, and you don't throw a fit.
When we were watching K-pop Demon Hunter and she said that and she was like, "Oh my god, you're so old. What are you from the 1900s?" I wanted to, like, melt into the floor and die. I was like, "Jesus, okay."
Yeah, the
Uh,
girls laughed very hard at that one.
My daughter, who knows better, by the way, asked, she goes, "So you're not the 1900s, you're the 1800s, right?" And I was like, "I'm sorry, why would you say that?" And she goes, "Well, the 80s." And I was like, "Okay, now you're just being cruel, and I'm tired of this."
from the
Yeah,
1800s, right, Jules?
yeah.
Okay, before we get too far into this, people would probably like to know names of people.
Oh,
Um, I'm Courtney. I would happen to be the middle child.
we treated her like it as well, so,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I'm Kendall, AKA Bruce. So, I'm the youngest, but pretty much I'll be going by Bruce, most likely throughout this process, so.
True. And I'm Chelsea, and I am the oldest. I started this shit show. So
Mm,
here we are.
mm.
You were the original shit show.
I am.
You
I
trained
am
us
the
well.
original. Exactly.
Yeah.
Lord.
Should we
Well,
go via age order today?
Oh, yeah?
Should we? I don't know, it's just an idea unless
I'm
somebody else wants to go first.
I do
I don't
not
care.
care. You're gonna get an earful of lakes from all three of us, so
All the lakes.
Yep, some weird ass shit.
Weird. All right. Well, if that's the case and I'm going first, let's talk about Lake Chelan. Um, it's Lake Chelan's super a common term around our area. Um, Pretty much needs no introduction. But since I don't know who's listening from our area and who's not, figure we can talk a little bit about its history and all the fun stuff. So anyway, Lake Chelan is a little over 50 miles long. It's in north central Washington. Um, so the average depth of this lake is about 474 feet. That's the average, I want to remind you. That gives me the ick. I'm not going to lie. I do love me some lakes, but immediately, yuck.
That's so hu like, I didn't realize it was that long.
I didn't either.
So you
Like,
said
that's what
50
she said.
miles?
it's 50.5 miles.
Damn.
Yeah, wild, huh?
Yeah.
Um, but the max depth of this lake is 1,486 feet.
Mm-mm.
There's things
I'm
down
gonna
there.
need to know what side of the lake this is so that I don't ever go there. Thanks, but
Too
no.
oceany for my blood.
Yes. I love
Mm.
swimming and I love lakes, but this is uncalled for. I don't like it. So anyway, it is the third deepest lake in the US, which makes sense, being it's like almost 1,500 feet deep. But it is the longest and deepest lake in Washington. Don't like that in the slightest. Uh, so Chelan is a Salish indigenous word, and it's pronounced Chilan. That's the best I could do, so don't come for me on that because I tried, okay? Um,
Chelan. That's what you
yeah,
get from us.
seriously. But it means deep water. So even the people who settled this lake knew it goes
They're
on
like, this
forever,
bitch is deep.
literally. So the Chelan or Wenatchee tribe is the one that settled the area, hence the name. Um, and they don't actually have a date that they know that they settled it. They said that the tribe pretty much goes back to when the lake was formed um, by a giant glacier. So they've been around for a long time in that area.
Well, it's the
Um,
apple capital of the world.
it sure is. Yeah, which is crazy because nothing grew there before settlers. Like it was just a
You're just
long
waiting, this fertile soil.
it was. So in 1880, miners and prospectors flocked to the area thinking that they were going to find all kinds of riches, and which they did a few years later. So it was mined by the Holden mine, which is why some of the town is named after Holden. They settled a big part of that area. In 1938, Chelan was a literal gold mine. It became the biggest gold, silver, and copper producer in the state. Never knew that. Pretty cool. In 1938, when the mine, or I'm sorry, from 1938 to when they closed in 1957, they pulled 514,000 ounces out of the valley.
Ah,
Well,
wow.
did I ever know that? No, I didn't. So, pretty cool.
Huh.
Yeah.
No.
Today, Chelan is a popular tourist attraction.
Yeah.
Um, there are wineries, and when most people think of Chelan, they think water sports because it is a boating fanatic's dream. People love it there for that.
Well,
There's lots of
apparently with
camping,
50 miles
right? Yeah, you're
that
free
we didn't
to.
know about.
I did not know. I would have never guessed that. But yeah, you're free to do your water sports for 50 some miles, I guess. I don't know. Um, so anyway, yeah, people book that place out like a year in advance. It is a tourist area for sure.
Mhm.
But it's actually it's a really pretty area too. So, with that being said, we're going to talk a little bit more about the history. Um, so, of course, being such a deep lake, there's going to be a little like spooky um, things that have happened there that people just don't have answers for. And
Better be.
we're going to talk about a couple of those things. Um, so, in 1812, it said that a Scottish captain came from Fort Augustus, Scotland, and released a dragon egg in the area. Don't know
Why
more than that.
here?
I'm not sure because it's so pretty, I guess.
I mean, we're the closest thing.
Yeah,
That is true.
but the 1812 of it all, they didn't write this down. So, so that's all I got is he brought a dragon egg and just left it hanging out. Whether he just threw it away in the lake
Tossed it in
or
the lake.
right, we don't know. But it's a great place, for a dragon or a Nelly type creature to live. Nessie, not Nelly. My bad.
Yeah.
Um, so anyway, people have had incidents in the reported ones are in 1892, a young man was swimming in Lake Chelan and was attacked by a sharp-jawed creature from the deep. He never saw what it was.
I don't like that.
I
I know
don't
it makes me really uncomfortable.
I don't. It just, like it reminds me of when you were swimming when you were younger and you're like your dad or older brother or something just came from the deep and grabbed your leg and tugged you down, and you thought that was it. You
You
thought
were
you were
that
done
for
for.
me, so
Or
Yeah,
or when the pool was we grew up with a pool, and so we were in it, like, all day, every day in the summer, and sometimes it would get a little murky before
you could not
one
do
of the parents was able to get to it.
yep, yep, and you
We
couldn't
used
see at the
to
bottom,
No,
and
we
that
used to
scared.
tease the shit out of each other about a literal goddamn sea cucumber
Larry.
being down there, and
Yes!
freaked us out more than anything else
I
on the planet.
remember Larry. That came from VeggieTales, by the way, Larry the cucumber.
It's Larry the sea cucumber, though, so
Yeah,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
that's where we got his name, and I love it, frankly. So another reported incident was in 1910. 3 men on a dock saw a 75-foot monster rise up from the lake and then go back under, and they never saw it again.
I'm curious. I have questions.
I also have questions because that's all I got. Were these men drinking? We don't know. Were they
Did
I
it
don't
just
know.
go straight up and that's how they saw it was 75 feet? Or did it, like, go, like, Nessie and go, like, up and down and, like, snake-like? Like, I wanna know things. I have
It
follow-up.
sounds like it was more of like a Nessie, the curve,
Mm.
and then just kinda kept going, and they kept seeing it and assumed it was 75 feet. I don't know.
I
No
mean,
one said
I may have
that.
an explanation for that in my story, so
Mm,
a
I like. Yeah.
potential explanation.
Yeah, John Paul whoever, didn't have a, measuring tape on him while the dragon did
Sure.
its thing, so, um,
Think
yeah,
Go-Go Gadget measuring tape?
I'm disappointed in him.
You should be.
But over the years, and this is up until even recent, people have reported water phenomena. So, like waves that shouldn't be there that just kind of start, um, and sometimes get big enough to even capsize boats if they're turned sideways into the water or into the wake. Um, Whirlpools that'll just kind of start out of nowhere, and disappear. So very random water phenomena. But also when you think about it, it's like 1,400 feet deep. So the water be doing what waters do, I guess. I don't know.
Do they
Yeah.
find any this may be beyond the scope of what we should be researching. Do they find any, like, geothermal activity under there? Because that could
Go
account
deep.
for
Yeah,
hot
I know
water,
that
cold
that's been
water.
that has definitely been a question of activity as there is some geothermal activity in our state. Whether it is directly under the part of the lake, I don't know. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, so we do have that. Uh, Now to kind of finish this off, logical people say that they have giant sturgeon in the lake, and if you've
Like
ever seen a
Gar.
Like,
sturgeon,
oh,
they're very mini shark-like. They're big. 75 feet, maybe not. But, you know, I don't know. So, a lot of questions about Lake Chelan. There's a lot of, area for them to hide a monster, I suppose, but I don't know.
People are hiding said monster or the
Well,
monster
like,
is
can you
hiding
imagine
said
if it was
monster?
someone's pet?
if I could have a pet like that, I would. Absolutely. Um, but I would have to know it from a baby. I couldn't just make friends with it at 75 feet long. That would scare me, so
Imagine riding that, though. You have, like, your scuba gear, and you just ride it down, and you're fucking
in a heart.
1,400 feet under, which
Okay,
obviously
so I don't know about 1,400 feet, but, like, maybe 30 feet down.
okay,
I was
let's
gonna say my ears couldn't make it past
yeah.
40 feet.
Yeah, yeah, maybe we do, like, 30, and then I tell, whoever, the dragon, like, "Hey, little tap tap, I gotta go back up. I'm scared."
Yeah, it's your tap out.
Yeah,
And the dragon's
I
just like,
don't
"This
know.
bitch can't hold her breath for shit."
Right, he's like, "You are not built for the water, friend," and I'm like, "No,
Oh
truly
my
I'm
god,
not."
it's giving me full on, like, 10 Rings vibes, like the water dragon that saves everybody at the end.
Which,
It's
it
always a
sounds like
possibility.
this thing isn't drowning people, so maybe it's a friendly. I don't know,
It did bite someone though, so that's slightly concerning,
but
Did they
maybe it was
bite
trying to
him
save
or just,
him.
like, jab
Mm,
him?
like
yeah,
cats do, just kinda like, "Here's my
yeah,
teeth."
yeah. Like, here. Well, yeah, because it could if it's 75 feet long, couldn't it just rip its leg off?
Word, I guess.
For sure.
I don't know. Who knows? So, I mean, that in a nutshell is Lake Chelan and some of its creepy, kooky history that we can't follow up on because, 1800s.
Which you are not from,
Damn.
so
If you ask my daughter, the 1980s is the 1800s.
the 1800s. Yeah,
But,
yeah,
Thank you, a
I'm, not gonna let that hurt
11-year-old.
my feelings today.
proud of
We
you.
can't. We mustn't.
Okay, well, see, whenever I picture Lake Chelan, I picture bougie bachelorette parties, like, on a boat.
Yeah, well, like, I've been to Lake Chelan. I went wakeboarding there growing up with my best friend Tara,
Yeah.
and, we've she lives there during the summer, basically, and loves it. So I don't know. I've never talked to her about scary monsters or anything weird.
You should see if she's ever heard of any stories because she's spent so much time there.
She spent a lot of time there. She's camped there a lot, so I should ask her, like, "Hey,
We'll need a
what's up with the
follow-up.
lake?" Yeah,
What's
I
going
will.
on?
"What's going on with the lake? Is it a snake?" Yeah, see,
Snake
we
a
don't know.
snack?
Mhm.
Snag.
Yeah, in the leg.
Jesus.
I don't know.
Okay, well, uh, we have now heard about Lake Chelan,
Yeah.
and we're gonna move on to da-da-da, Crater Lake. Um, we're going to Oregon for this one. I have not been to Crater Lake before, and I actually just saw that they closed, so they have a, like, water ferry, that they just closed that they take to this magical place in the middle of Crater Lake called Wizard Island. Mind you, we will get into this. It's just a little sparkle of a,
Sure. Oh.
hint. Um, but they just closed that down to do some revamping on the in the state park to get the docks up to scratch with the amount of people that come to visit every year. So, if you want to go visit, hold your plans for at least another year or so, maybe longer, depending on how things pan out in life,
Darn.
the world.
I wanna
You
go
can still go to
now.
the lake. You just can't take. There's no ferry activity.
When you first said fairy, I thought you were talking Fairy.
I did too, and you even said water fairy, and I don't know, I think it's the way you said it, I was thinking like a legit, like, Tinkerbell water fairy.
Same.
It's very possible. My girls did just watch, um, the pirate Tinkerbell, so
Mm.
It's a water fairy.
no, but she's a friend with a water fairy, so don't get me into this. The tism's coming out too strong on the different types of fairies in Tinkerbell, and I can't get into it right now.
Okay, so fairy,
Alright.
Ferry.
Yep. Okay, got it. We're going back in time to the beginning of this conversation because we got way too off the rails.
We did. We got a little sidetracked.
Alright, Crater Lake people. Crater Lake is one of the oldest national parks in the country. I believe it was put into, let's see, it's not organized by this, so I'm gonna have to cut part of this out, but
How dare
apologies.
you?
I know.
Hi there.
This is what I get for doing this. When I have no medication in my system, I just start typing random things into bullet points and go, "That looks great." So, President Roosevelt made Crater Lake the 6th national park in 1902. I didn't know we had 6 of them by 1902, but very
There.
exciting. And Crater Lake is the deepest freshwater lake in the US at 1,900 feet deep.
I don't
Yeah,
like them. I just don't.
not a fan. But that just makes this worse because that means it's the seventh deepest lake in the world.
Not the
We're
world.
getting on the world.
1900, not the world.
No,
So
I don't like.
that the reason I asked about the hydrothermal venting is because that is what they found in the bottom. They went down in a little submarine to go see everything that's going on down there, and they found venting at the bottom. But that would make sense as to why Crater Lake is named Crater Lake because it is at the top of a mountain that exploded
And then filled with
and left a
water.
crater and then filled with water, and there we are.
Oh, we love that for the crater.
We do love that for the crater. And literally, I have a bullet point that all it says is Wizard Island in all caps with exclamation points and question marks. Dot, dot, dot. And now it's a mini fucking volcano. So,
Wizard Island is?
Wizard Island
It's like a
in
volcano
the
inside
middle.
a volcano?
Yeah, it's a volcano in a lake in a volcano,
Oh,
technically.
That's cool.
I like it.
Yeah. So the reason I wanted to look into Crater Lake was there is a tale of a log that is completely vertical that floats through the lake, and people think it controls the weather.
Well, I have heard about this actually, and I didn't realize that that was close to us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's called the Old Man of the Lake.
I just heard about this like last week.
Yep.
I'm so
Yeah,
excited.
it is. So when I was looking all of that up, um, the tree itself is they took a piece of it and they like dated the whole tree, and it's 450-year-old hemlock tree. So, honestly, they haven't had a ton of recognition, and I believe I have a lot of 1900s written down, and I believe the first time that it was written about was 1912. The first time it was put in writing that it was not a verbal passing, but Crater Lake really wasn't touched a lot because it was in the top of a mountain. People weren't going to go trekking over the mountain in wintertime in the Pacific Northwest in the early 1900s of it all, you
I
know?
mean, that's fair.
That
Like,
is
especially at
valid.
the
Yeah,
top of a mountain.
Yeah.
very valid. So while I was looking into the old man of the lake, I came across the Crater Lake creation story from the Klamath people in the area. And I mean, there's this, it's kind of like a Native American version of Hades and Persephone without the adorable love story at the end.
It's all violence.
Pretty much. So, from the Klamath people are descendants of the people that took place in this story. So they are the descendants of the tribe that is being spoken of in this story. And they lived on the mountain. The mountain is called Mount Mazama. Tell me why I've never heard that name before.
I've never heard that name before.
Neither.
Yeah. Yep. Mount Mazama is the mountain that Crater Lake resides on, in,
That's
Within?
wild.
I don't know.
a part of. Well,
So Mount
it's been
Mazama
there.
is the mountain that blew that
Yes.
created
Mhm.
the craters.
So, yeah, we're getting
Okay.
into the Klamath people's. I would love to try to pronounce this. There's lots of K's. You think I would be used to that, but that's Scandinavian K's.
Yeah.
um, Makalak, Makalak.
Mackalack?
Macalac? Okay, perfect, wonderful. That Google text to speech doesn't really do well with Native American words.
Oh, no? No,
Yeah,
it does
you don't
not.
say.
That's why
So,
the T-land got a little butchered because I was like,
mm,
"Sorry, I tried."
yeah.
You tried.
Well, the Macalac people have lived in the Mount Mazama area for 13,000 years. Like, they've kind of always told stories. But the creation story that we're talking about today happened 7,700 years ago. So, Lalau, the chief of the underworld, falls in love with one of the Macalac chief's daughters. She does not return the favor. And he
She
wasn't,
said, "No, thank you."
y- honestly, very polite. No is a complete sentence. End of story,
Yes, it
right?
is.
Period.
Yep, yep.
Unfortunately, is not here. Um, he gets very upset. And as I wrote in probably my 11 p.m. stupor, that Lalau wants to murder all of the chief's daughter's people for her refusal.
An overreaction
Well,
from an upset man.
Ye Who would have
underworld of it
thought?
all,
What?
living under a rock for however long. Who
He's
knows?
cranky.
He is cranky. He just is like, I have so much love to give. Anyway, so
He could get a
Skell
dog.
in the underworld, he may have already had one.
Hounds.
It may not have gone well.
Hounds. That's valid.
Who knows? Maybe he's more of a cat guy.
No.
That could be.
They come and go.
Cats don't reciprocate well.
They
Yeah,
They
don't.
have
And
boundaries.
apparently he likes that. So he goes after women who don't reciprocate. So
Right.
we have a trend. He's a cat man.
Okay.
So Skell, he's the chief of the above world, or like spirit of the sky, kind of jumped out and goes, "Not today, Satan," and popped out of Mount Shasta
That one I've heard of.
from
Heard of that. Yep.
northern. Yeah. Yep. Yep. There's some stories. We froze our butts to the bumper of a van one winter trekking over that pass.
So with Greg.
No, that was with Dad in Greg's van.
That's
But yes.
Yes.
So Skell popped out, surprise, bitch, not today, Satan, out of Mount Shasta to defend all of these people because he kind of, was like, not cool, dude. She just doesn't like you. Back off. She said no.
She's just not that
And
into you.
seriously, have you read it? Get with the picture. And they threw red hot rocks at each other, like the giant rock giants from Frozen 2, scared everyone away.
Yeah.
Um, and two random guys from the village were like, "Hey, so if we jump into this like pit of lava, will that like make you guys stop? If we like just sacrifice ourselves a little bit?"
They were
Right over
done.
here?
They were like, nah.
Yeah, they're like, we don't want to deal with this. Um,
I get that.
Skell, the Mount Shasta birthday cake individual, was like, "Oh, that's so nice. But just give me 1 second." And he pushed Lalau back down into Mount Mazama.
You know what? I'm here for
And
Mount Shasta.
Yeah, I'm into
Right.
that.
Mount Shasta. Mhm.
Okay.
Um, the next day, the sun rose and the mountain was gone. Yeah, Mount Mazama, just gone. And
Well,
what
that's why
right
we've
in
never
the place
heard of
was
it.
just a yeah, the giant hole filled with water, and here we are, Crater Lake. It's so
This is
riveting.
wild. This is
That
going in so many different directions I never expected.
Me either. I'm on the edge of my seat-ish. Like,
Ish.
I can't actually be, but, like, emotionally I am. So,
The
Snaps to the Klamath
proverbial
people.
seat.
yeah.
Yeah.
Dang.
So, I mean, honestly, I got hooked on that, so I was like, we need to know more about that." So we got a lot of that. That is how they view the starting of what happened. Turns out a volcano erupted. Mount St. Helens itself. Before Mount St. Helens, itself. So,
I like their story better.
honestly, yeah, I mean, we always like nice dudes popping out of things to save us, so
Right? I
I need
like
to
that
hear
way better.
more about this, weather controlling tree.
oh, yeah. So, we're gonna get back to, the old man of the lake. So, they kind of really didn't discover the lake until the 1900s, just because,
They
people aren't
just
gonna
didn't
go
write it down
traipsing
in the
around.
1800s.
Well, yeah. Well, and
Honestly,
if they
probably,
did,
because
it's
I
like
don't
2
think they
people.
discovered it.
Yeah.
I wrote late 1800s. Probably should have been more specific. I believe I read it was like the 1860s, 1870s that the lake was even just first seen by other than Klamath individuals.
Hmm.
So that was the first time people had slowly started moving more west at that point, just trying to find things, and a base went in, a fort went in, not probably 35 miles from the lake, and so people ended making the trek up over the mountain just to kinda see what was on the other side, as you do,
Mhm.
and anyway, so it was a first written account, of the old man in 1902, the year that Crater Lake was made a national park,
Oh.
and yeah, so they saw what they thought was a stump near Wizard Island, and they kinda thought it was cute because it was sun bleached and the splintered top of the thing looked like splintered hair on the top, so they called it the Old Man of the Lake. Little did they know, the Old Man of the Lake likes to walk. And by walk, I mean he likes to just move around the lake. Like, they'll find him, just him. I'm gonna refer to the stump as a him now.
Looks like
The
a
old man.
pudding.
It's slightly off-putting, but I feel like now that he may or may not control the weather, I feel like if I call it an it or anything other than a
Wanna
him,
offend him.
I don't
That's
want to offend him because if I do make my way down there, I would like to have nice weather. So we're going to be on the our best behavior with the old man of the lake.
okay.
Um so in 1929, William Gladstone steal the three name people, the three like that they have the three names that sound like they're
A serial killer?
I mean, I guess. I wasn't going with serial killer. I was going with like bank tycoon,
Oh,
whatever. I mean, just
potato,
leave
potato.
all the wind out of my sails. It's
You
fine.
know, yeah, it can go either way with the tri-name man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess. I mean, I'm not going to ask that because that's a hard yes. I was going to say, does a William Gladstone Steele sound like somebody who would be a
Yep,
And I was like, oh, yeah, no, that does that.
yep.
Yeah.
He sounds
Um,
yeah, he does. He sounds like a banker and a serial killer. I have questions.
Mm.
mm, I think that's pretty common. Anyway, he's William, um, is known as the father of Crater Lake. He's the one that pushed Congress to make it a national park. He had mentioned that he saw a giant tree broken off and was just kind of mentioning it because it was semi large. And in 1938, John Doerr spent 3 months tracking the travel patterns of a stump that they thought was stationary in the beginning when they wrote about it. They were like, "Hey, there's a huge stump over there. That must have been a very big tree." So from July 1st to September 30th, 1938, anyone want to take a guess on how many miles that this stump moved
Did you just say
from July
miles?
miles?
Miles.
Yep. I probably shouldn't have said that. I probably should have just said how far you think it moved.
I was gonna say,
Oh,
like,
I would have
50 feet.
yeah, me too.
No, we're gonna go with miles because we'll be here all night if I don't give you miles.
Yeah, we would.
So July 1st to September 30th. Anyone? Bueller?
4.
4?
Yeah, 4
Very
miles.
I mean, The fact that it's more than one is
Right?
really throwing me.
I just threw out a number because
Well, the real answer is gonna throw you. It was 62.
62 miles?
I don't think
62
I walked
miles.
62 miles in a month.
Well, on a particularly windy day, 3.8 miles in one day.
So it just kind of
Um,
travels through the lake.
Yeah. Yeah, he was kind of a local celebrity. Somebody's actually sat on top of it and it stayed completely vertical and just moved around the lake.
so I there's so much to this that I
Oh, we're gonna get to the weather controlling part here in a second. So for a while, they left him alone, and in 1988, they launched a submarine. This is when they found the geothermal activity underneath, and they were like, "Okay, that explains some of the stuff that's going on." Well, someone thought that the old man was gonna be a navigational hazard and that it might run into the submarine. So they tied the stump, quote unquote. Um, they tied it to Wizard Island and a huge storm hit. Huge, massive. And they were like, "Oh, okay. Well, you know what? I
He's
think we
mad.
can we're just gonna go to this end of the lake, and, we will just leave you here. You just have your space."
look,
They
I have a
untied
lot of
him,
respect
and
for old
within
man.
15 minutes, the sky cleared.
I would do that too. That's a temper tantrum that I stand behind.
Yep.
If I could cause storms, I would on the regular.
Well, I do in my own home.
I don't.
Mm,
That's usually my children causing the
no, I am
tantrum.
the storm in my house.
So, I mean, there's some people that just kinda go, "Okay, cool. It's a log. Why are we so excited about it?" But the fact that it's 450 years old is crazy, right?
And still just kind of
And
Well,
it's
like,
still there
look
to this
now,
day.
logs sink. Like they get
or flip
waterlogged,
or
literally,
get eaten or something.
or flipped over because it's top heavy, or.
Yeah, it's, a little cuckoo nuts bananas, but it's saying that the part that has been above the lake so long, dried out, that it's now a buoy. That the rest of the log that's water sunk underneath it cannot pull the rest of it underneath.
This is absolute chaos.
How
Yeah,
big is
it's
how big is the lake? Because the fact, like, again, I imagine just sitting there for a few days and just watching it.
That would
well,
be fun.
so I'm gonna give you a little bit, um, of how deep it is, like a little visual. You can stack the Eiffel Tower, the Statue of Liberty, and the Washington Monument beneath the old man and still not reach the lake's deepest point at 1,943 feet.
No, no,
Yikes.
no.
Look, the rest of this I don't like. The old man, I think we could be best friends. I like him.
So he is 4 feet above the water and 30 feet
14.
below the water
30 feet, you
and
said?
30 feet, and
That's
he's
a
2
big
feet in
tree.
diameter.
That is a big tree.
It says, the article, that I'm referencing, I looked back into it, from the npc.org. Um, it calls his diameter his waist. His
Russia.
lower body descends 30 feet into the depths, and his waist has 2 feet in diameter at the surface.
That's adorable.
Yeah.
Does
As
what's
long
his
as
name?
they're being nice to my friend about his waist, then
Oh, they just call him the old man of the lake.
Oh, he doesn't have a name. Okay, I kinda like that. It's like he who must not be named.
Yeah.
but
And I mean,
nicer.
there
Yeah,
are so many
maybe.
different stories, that I could probably go on and on and on about, with the, specific local tribes in the area, um, battling, like their cousin tribe or whatever, that they usually get along, but, like siblings, we all have our spats. Um, yeah, there's some great, articles, actually. The CraterLakeInstitute.com is a great one. Um, uh, the, Klamath News, what is it? KlamathTribalNews.org has a
Mm.
lot of, great origin stories and, old folklore stories about it too that are, great, but I just couldn't kinda squeeze it in. But yeah, that is, Crater Lake and our Mount Shasta boyfriend and the old man of the lake with his 2-foot waist.
I love the old man.
24-inch
Not
waist
gonna lie.
man. That's wild.
I I
It
love a he's just a proactive king because he's out here changing the weather,
standing
doing
up for
big
himself.
things. I love him. I do. He's my best friend. We're gonna have to go see him. Not to be
Oh,
dramatic
you
or
will.
anything, but yeah, we're best friends now.
We're best friends now.
Yes, I don't think they have overnight camping, but we can do day trips. You will have to hike a little bit to the lake, but I don't believe it. I With the amount of people that they have going there, to the fact that they need a, motorized water ferry, I think that it's pretty accessible.
Okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
Um, I'm still concerned about this depth level thing, but sure. Yeah.
Oh, no, no, no. I'm not playing in the water. I just wanna see my friend.
Okay.
I mean, we can show pictures.
I'll splash at the side a little.
Like tempt fate.
Yeah. I'll just my tootsies.
Yeah.
My tootsies.
And
That's
then you
it.
see random like whirlpools and shit start happening.
Nope. Call my friend, he'll fix it.
All right. Well, okay. Lastly, I'm doing Lake Crescent. So
Ooh.
it's funny because I feel like Chelsea yours is a little bit more like deserty, Eastern Washington. Courtney yours is top of a mountain, like 1,900 feet deep, and mine's on the coast, like it's right there, right by the ocean.
Mhm.
But
Um,
the fact that we all managed to pick lakes that start with C's,
yeah, I was just thinking of that too.
Crazy.
Have and you've both
we're
been
not
to Lake
siblings.
Crescent, yes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Not long term. I've, like, stopped and, like, walked the banks for, like, 20 minutes before going on to our final destination.
Hmm.
Rob and I used to stop and swim there after fishing.
It's so beautiful. That's why I've always been like really drawn to it because when you drive past it, it's like this like teal blue green color that you just
Yes.
don't see anywhere. And so I've always been
Yeah.
fascinated by it. And then I started hearing like because I've spent some time out there just doing photo shoots and stuff, just hearing all these different stories. But essentially, this water is like crystal clear. They have not found the official bottom of Lake Crescent. They believed it to be over 1,000 feet deep. Um, it's unclear the actual depth of the lake, which is super comforting. Um,
Mhm.
there's no algae in it. It's got the water has a really unique composition to it, so there's no algae, which is what makes it super clear. Like if you go and paddleboard or like kayak the lake, you can see straight down to the bottom. It's buck
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah.
We're doing a paddleboard trip next summer.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yes!
I like, as crazy as you're gonna find out that these stories are, I love Lake Crescent. Yes, I would live there. Anyways,
I'm gonna
but
hold judgment until the end, and then I will decide if we're going on this trip.
okay, okay, that's fair. So the water is extremely cold for obvious reasons with how deep it is, but it has, like, a lot they call it oxygen poor depths in the water, at the bottom, and so there's, like, anything that goes in, there's, like, no decomp or anything, which is a little foreshadowing, so just think about that. But the rumor about the lake essentially is that it keeps what it wants.
Um,
Same.
Yeah. So so the lake was seismically formed. They think it was either during a massive landslide or a huge earthquake. There is believed because there's another lake right nearby called Lake Sutherland that there's an underground river that runs between the two lakes. And that, you know, one of the myths is that the landslide is what broke apart the two lakes, but there's still the water underneath. But um, the locals call it cursed, and it's a place that doesn't give its secrets up easily. And according to legend, you guys are making me laugh. So according to legend, the Klallam and Quileute tribes fought a battle beneath Mount Storm King, because that's the mountain that's right there. And the mountain became angry at the fighting and broke off a chunk of the rock from its peak and threw it into the valley. It's sounding familiar, huh, Courtney? Um,
Yes, it is.
threw it into the valley over the battlefield, and the rock killed the warriors and dammed the river, which created Lake Crescent. And so generations of Native Americans wouldn't even go near the lake because of the legend. And yeah, it said that Lake Crescent never gave up its dead.
Quick question. Are we talking damned like blocked or like damned to hell?
Blocked. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, which is again what the room, you know, nothing was really documented, obviously, but they believe that Lake Sutherland and Lake Crescent were all one giant lake, and then landslide or, gods fighting, whatever have you, created two separate lakes over time. But there's
As
again
soon as you said that as soon as you said that, it gave me, Top Gear vibes where they were trying to find the source of the Nile, and he was like, "Yeah, maybe if these 2 rivers are connected," and he was like, you think they would know that?" It's like, "Well, maybe not.
maybe not, you don't know. Yeah,
Clarkson was onto something, who knows?"
right. So we're gonna dive into the first of the weird and unsolved kind of stories that happened around this lake. So
Don't ruin this for me.
Making me uncomfy
so
already.
1929, there's a couple that goes missing, somewhere between Port Angeles and Forks, um, after Russell had picked Blanche up from the hospital. So she went to the hospital. She was there for a few days. They lived in Forks, but if anybody listening has ever been to this area, it is there's nothing there, and so you have to
Full
drive,
of vampires.
except vampires. Yeah, so you have to drive the almost hour to get to Port Angeles for just about anything. So especially in 1929, I can't even imagine. Um, so Blanche is in the hospital. Russell goes to pick her up. And all they did eventually see tire marks on the road with them leading into the lake. And so divers went in right where the tire marks were about 6 months after the crash. And after about 80 feet down, they couldn't keep looking because, uh, it's 1929. So they had to stop. It was too dark. It was too deep. They had to stop looking. Well, fast forward all the way to freaking 2001. From 1929, 2001, divers find a clue when they are diving in the lake, and it's the top of a washing machine. And Russell apparently was multitasking this day when he picked up Blanche. They bought a washing machine before they drove back home. And so that told them that they were searching in the right place. And so they kept going down, and eventually they found their 1929 Chevy. Imagine this, in 2001, a 1929 Chevy 170 feet down with no bodies inside.
Bleh. No.
Yep.
Mm-mm.
So 107 feet down, they find this historical car, and it took yet another 2 years for divers to come back again to try and go down even deeper. And about 20 feet further down, they found Russell's skull cap and a number of bones, but they were never able to test um, to see if they were Blanche's, but they just assumed they found the bodies. But in 1960, another car crashed into the lake at the exact same spot, and they didn't find that part, that car ever. And that part of the lake is about 400 feet deep. So they have no idea if his car is even down there. But that's one story about this lake.
And we wanna drive there?
Well, okay, listen though, you have been on those roads. They're so windy.
They are so windy, and
Yeah.
if you take one corner just a little too fast, and I can't imagine they had guardrails up like we do now.
Mm.
That's
So,
true. I
like,
mean, the speed limits are like 30 miles an hour, but,
they really
nobody
are,
does that.
and I'll tell you what, Rob does not drive them 30 miles an hour when we're
Nobody
trying to get
does.
there, and
Nobody.
so I can only imagine trying to control a 1920s or, some kind of vehicle on the yeah, no.
I know. Yeah. And at night is what they were driving home at night. And so it's like
Ugh,
you're
no.
just
Right, without the technology of even the driving we have today that we're having issues with.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you think they had headlights?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some of
But, like,
them,
if they didn't
honestly, some of the older cars had literal, like,
Like flashlights.
oil almost like oil lamps.
Oh, that's cool. I do have a picture, by the way, of the car that they found.
Oh, hell yeah.
I'll have to show you guys that because it's really, really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and I have pictures of Wizard and Old Man hanging out, so
Yeah, we have to share those for sure.
We'll put those on Instagram.
yeah.
Yes. Which our Instagram handle is Once Upon a Weird. Go follow us. Okay, thanks. Anyways, okay. So next story about Lake Crescent is someone named Hallie Illingsworth. Um, so in 1940, a body floated to the surface of the lake after being preserved in pristine condition for 3 years. So again, foreshadowing with lack of decomposition. It was this random, um, yeah, uh, chemical makeup of the water that just it did this thing to her body, which I'll get into. But essentially, it floated up and it was pristine for 3 years. Hallie was a waitress. She at Lake Crescent Lodge. She vanished in 1937. Um, Her third husband never managed to really hide the fact that he beat her relentlessly.
Adorable.
Yeah. And when she disappeared, this husband told everybody that she ran off with a sailor from Alaska. And naturally, the courts in 1937 believed him and he was granted a divorce in 1938. However, 1940 rolls around, this body pops up to the surface of the lake and it's wrapped in blankets and tied with rope.
Trash. He's trash.
Trash. Yeah. So, because of the water and the chemical makeup of the water, her corpse was essentially turned into what they called ivory soap. So it's a process called saponification.
I've
And
heard of this.
yep, so it's saponification and it's from the cold lake chemistry and her skin had become this like rubbery substance which kept it perfectly preserved. So she wasn't bloated, she wasn't like there was no decay and it was clear that she had been beaten and strangled. Like the evidence of what had been done to her had been perfectly preserved. And
Okay, third husband.
yeah. So typically,
It's like
just
nature
like
just wrote
soap.
in a red pen, "Here, right
Yeah,
Right.
here."
He did this, bitch.
yeah, exactly. So just like
Ugh.
soap, she should have floated straight to the top, but her body was weighed down. However, with time, the ropes decayed and her body floated to the surface. And so her husband, they went and found him. He had moved to California, was convicted of her murder thanks to the body surfacing, and served 9 years in prison before being paroled. So 9 years.
So many things I could say about that. But in all honesty, all I want to say is the lake is a girl's girl because she was like, you know what? We're just going to hold this for a sec. And, I think someone will take care of this now. And then let her go in the exact condition she needed to be. So I can't fault the lake there.
Nope. Yeah, because she came up with all that evidence as clear as day, and
Mhm.
the rope that was used was, he delivered whiskey, and that's how they met. He delivered whiskey to the lodge, and it was rope from his work.
Trash. Okay.
Yeah, trash. So, visitors that have come to the lake over the years, they have said that they can see Hallie walking around the lake in, like, 1930s clothing. And then people in the lodge have said that they see her sitting at random tables in the lodge, and she doesn't really interact with anybody. She just sits down and smokes a cigarette. Like she's just like, "Fuck everybody. I'm just going to do my own thing." Um,
She's like, "That was a really long day, I need this."
yeah,
That's a lot of walking.
yeah, yeah. And hikers and campers and visitors, because that lake is home to all of those things, have heard the muffled screams near dusk by the place where her body was found. Um,
Fuck yeah.
And then there's also been sightings of Monty rowing out into the middle of the lake to dispose of Hallie's body. So,
Monty, get out of here.
word. Um, Divers have also said that they sometimes see a woman swimming towards them when they're at the bottom of the lake.
Okay. That's unacceptable.
Okay, the second I read that, I was like, I'd have a heart attack at the bottom of the lake. No. Anyways,
Unacceptable.
yeah.
She needs to chill on that part, but
She's like, "Ooh, another man. I'm gonna fuck this guy up."
Yeah. But still, girl,
Like,
chill.
what lies beneath.
Mm,
Ugh. No.
yeah. So she spent a
Yeah.
lot of time down there, 3 years. But when she came back up with a vengeance. So
Atta girl.
while a weird story, not exactly unsolved, um, there's also the Lady of the Lake, which is not Hallie. So this apparition is in much older clothing, like white and flowing, like early European settlers to the region type early clothing. And she's seen walking either on or hovering right above the lake's surface. And some witnesses describe her as appearing like almost luminescent, like Lady of the Lake, Lady in White kind of thing, with long
Like,
flowing hair that moves even when there's no wind. So it's kind of like always like kind of eerie, floaty. Um,
Like Kida from
yes,
Atlantis.
exactly. And boaters who've encountered her like on the surface of the water have said that she seems to be looking for something, but she vanishes if they try and get close to her. So that's been seen by quite a number of people. Um, There have been multiple drownings in Lake Crescent where no bodies were discovered, even with divers and sonar. But given they've never found the bottom, that kind of makes sense. Which kind of goes back to the lake keeping what it wants. But some believe that that underwater like current and river that goes to Lake Sutherland takes the bodies. And so that would make some kind of sense of like if they haven't worked out where that river or where that current's coming from, why would they find, all that evidence?
Well, and there's
absolutely.
tons of, like, underwater springs from the mountains to
Mhm.
the ocean, and Lord knows how far it even has to go down before it even gets to a surface, if it ever does.
Exactly. Yeah. So, um,
Wild.
on top of that, so there's like unexplained lights and sounds that happen a lot around the lake. So campers have reported the lights flickering across the surface with no boats in sight, and they call them the phantom lights of Lake Crescent. But they're not like some people say, oh, it's bioluminescence, which happens a lot in that area, but there's no like it seems to display intelligent behavior. So they appear as glowing orbs, they dance across the surface and sometimes in patterns that witnesses say can't be natural. And local fishermen have told stories of these lights appearing during storms, sometimes guiding boats. Oh, Chelsea, there's two of you now.
I don't know what happened. It kicked me off.
Oh, okay. So, Courtney, you're gonna have to edit that part out, but
Yeah.
um, okay.
Ah, all better.
Perfect. So, these orbs, they appear during storms. They seemingly are guiding the boats away from dangerous areas. And so some of the older residents claim that these lights have been appearing since even before electricity came to the region. So any kind of modern explanation doesn't work for what's been seen. And then others have described hearing echoing voices late at night or humming sounds.
Mm. Oh.
So even visitors have reported suddenly hearing sounds of old time logging operations echoing across the water, which there aren't any logging operations now in the area, but this is complete with like shouts of the workers, crashes of falling trees in areas where there haven't been activity in over a century. Um,
No, but you see all the old tools anytime you go through,
Mhm.
Aberdeen
oh
or
yeah,
anything. You see all the, like, the shadows of the logging industry over there, so it's very prevalent, and
well, it
Well,
built
yeah,
the state.
it
it
built
is
the whole
supposed
area. Yeah.
it it was a huge industry over there before, it all moved.
Mhm. It was the industry. It's what made
It
that area
was yeah,
habitable.
Yep,
yep.
exactly. So it's kind of wild that people still hear that where there's clearly not been work in a very, very long time. And then others even describe hearing the distinctive sound of steam trains, even though there's no active railway lines. They were removed generations ago. Um, but these things that people hear often happens when it's super foggy out, which again, if you've been there, it's so eerie when it's foggy, but it's so beautiful. It's really hard to describe unless you've seen it. But um, it's usually when it's foggy conditions, the lake surface is completely still. But even kind of more dramatically, some visitors claim to have through the fog, they briefly witness buildings and a time period that isn't what we're currently a part of. So, like different historical periods, like even old buildings that are there and boats that no longer exist in the area. They'll see it through the fog. So, I always thought that was kind of creepy, but um theories on that front range anywhere from ghosts to magnetism to underground seismic activity to whatever have you. But um, the native lore in that area is that the local
Bigfoot.
tribes. Huh? What? Hmm?
Huh? It's always Bigfoot. Anytime you're on the peninsula, it's Bigfoot. It's Bigfoot farts. Who knows? It's Bigfoot
Fart.
sparkles, but it's Bigfoot.
So,
Okay,
well,
keep going.
the native people, so this is mostly the Quileutes, they talk about water spirits or beings that lure people into the lake and into the depths. And that a lot of the modern drownings get tied to these tales because they don't often have an explanation where someone who's like expert swimmer would suddenly just drown where there's no current kind of thing.
But if there's an undertow in the lake,
Exactly. So
I
there's
mean,
no
it's the
way of
same as
knowing.
an undertow in the ocean. You need to treat it with as much respect and caution as you physically and mentally can. Like,
Well, that's why they don't allow motorboats on the lake. Nothing that creates it's a no wake lake. So
good.
only no motors or anything. But Um, there are also stories about feeling like you're being watched. Um, but none of these stories are that you're being watched from the trees or from across the lake. All of them that have been reported say they feel like they're being watched from beneath the surface of the water.
Oh,
Oh, you lost me.
yeah. The trip is no longer happening. I'm so sorry to say.
So
I'm out.
I'm out. So yeah, that is Lake Crescent, and FYI, the photo shoot in November we're staying on Lake Sutherland. So if that winds up working out, we'll be right there. Like it's on the lake. So
Okay.
I'm bringing heavy sleeping medication.
you don't want to hear.
I'm gonna sleep through the tragedies. If I'm gonna go, I'm going in my sleep.
Frankly, I'm just gonna start recording everything so I don't look like an idiot when I'm like, I couldn't sleep last night. I heard people logging. It's wild.
I saw old
The neighbors were
logging
being
ship
so loud.
The neighbors were cutting down trees at 2 a.m. It was crazy.
complain about the Airbnb. 1 star.
Right? Neighbors chopping down trees,
Yeah.
singing
So
old tunes.
let me see if I can show you guys some of these pictures because I have I'm gonna put them in our chat
Right?
on here because I wanna show you this, like, 1920s car from the bottom of the lake because I couldn't imagine seeing that and being like, "Oh, I don't know if I can send pictures." I don't think I can.
Just text it to the group chat, and we'll make sure to post it. The pictures with the episode release.
Yeah. Well, here, I can see if I can Google Drive. Pull it up on my phone too. Um, yeah, so, fucking creepy as shit, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. And on photos, okay. I'm gonna show you.
Me-
Nope.
Nope, that ain't it.
Isn't that wild? And then this one is from Hallie.
On that,
It says Lake Crescent gives up body of a lost wife. Not a lost woman, not her name,
a
but
lost wife.
a lost wife.
You know,
And this was Lake Crescent in 1816.
go up a
Mm,
little with your phone. Yuck. Okay.
Yeah. So I have a few photos, but that, ladies and gentlemen, is Lake Crescent. So if anybody listening has some fun tales about Lake Crescent or Lake Chelan or Crater Lake or whatever fucking lake, I want to hear them.
I love it. That's
do we
fun.
have an email to drop that they can send in some of their stories?
Yes, it is onceuponaweird@gmail.com. And remember,
Wonderful.
I before E, except after C, unless it's weird.
I like that.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
But you just made me think, and I'm upset about it. So
There's a
Yeah.
lot the silence after that statement was way too long.
it's past my bedtime.
No,
Like,
this
I
was
told
so
you.
much fun. Earlier, my medication died a long time ago.
Oh, same. I mean,
Um,
I don't have medication, but just my will to do anything died when I was in traffic for 5.5 hours. So
uh,
That tracks.
well, I wanna, give some people time to exit if they don't wanna hear any of the extra chatter. This is the end of, our stories for the episode.
Mhm.
If you made it this far, we thank you. We also ask that wherever you're listening to this too, if you're able to leave comments or even email us at onceuponaweird@gmail.com. Um, please, um, if it's not constructive criticism, I mean, please just keep it to yourself. Like, there's no need to be rude. If someone can't change what bugs you in less than 30 seconds, just don't mention it. Nobody can change it. Not everybody, we're not, our voices aren't going to be everyone's cup of tea. We get that.
I'm gonna
Some
say
of
this.
our
And I'm
stories,
sick.
Yeah, I was gonna say Chelsea's sick. I'll say it bluntly. Don't be a
Chelsea is
cunt.
sick.
I am sick. Okay.
Yeah. So we have no problems listening to constructive criticism
Oh yeah, that's how we
at
roll.
all. So please let us know if there's topics that you guys would like to
Yeah.
hear.
Different topics.
If you know more about the topics that we spoke about in this episode, or even hopefully upcoming episodes, please feel free. Email us and we will try. Just in the subject line of the emails, if it's just fun facts about, add that. Or if you have a story, maybe if we get enough fun stories, we might be able to pick one or two at the end of each episode and maybe
Oh yeah.
shout out whoever's story it is and just chat about it and hear some fun experiences others have had and
I
of our
do also wanna
stories.
say, like, because each of us did mention multiple native tribes, that if anybody has, any kind of good spot for people that can donate to the tribes that we mentioned or anything like that, send it our way, and we can make sure it's on the show notes or even post it on our Instagram because we always wanna make sure, that those tribes are getting, the attention that they need. So, if anybody knows anything along those lines, send it our way.
For sure. We're
Yeah.
very
And
used to living in tribal areas and
Yes.
we, obviously know the history behind all of this and we're trying to be as respectful as we can of their land now.
Yep.
So yeah, we do what we can and obviously we have wildfires and stuff out here too. So if anybody knows of good wildfire
Yeah.
relief organizations, please also let us know. And we have no problems putting that in the show notes or whatever. But yeah, we just want to do what we can. Chelsea, sorry, I, I cut you off.
no, you're good. I was just gonna say, and really, like, we we love you guys. Like, we don't even know you, but we do. We love you, and we do this because we enjoy it, and we hope that you also enjoy it, and we'd like it to be enjoyable for you as well. So that's why, contact us, get a hold of us. We'd love to talk to you. We would love to talk about topics that interest you. But like we said, at the end of the day, it please be respectful. We will be as respectful as we possibly can. We will never purposely be disrespectful or rude to anyone. That's not how we live our lives. So,
And if we're
yeah,
incorrect about something, please just email us, tell us. We are
Yeah.
more than happy. Like we're all learning every day. If, for whatever reason, we know we're not going to get it all right. We have access to every piece of information out there and not all of
Even
them
the
are
wrong
correct.
stuff.
So,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
mhm.
exactly.
Yeah. And if
So
this makes you
anyway,
want to visit the Pacific Northwest, then do it. Yay!
It's
right.
the best.
Let us know.
Yeah,
Maybe
it
we'll
is.
meet you somewhere. We're kind of, well, I was gonna say 2/3 of us are kind of in separate ends on one side of the state. So let us know.
Yeah.
And
Um,
we're coffee snobs, so meet us for some coffee.
coffee snobs, yeah. Coffee
Yeah,
and apple
yeah.
snobs.
Yeah, right.
Come at me, bro.
Yeah,
Come at me about
we are.
Apple
Um,
information, man.
No.
so that's the end of the regular episode. Anyone can leave. I feel like we may need to do a couple little um fun facts, give a little background about ourselves here at the end of this episode. I mean, they just listened to us tell stories, and I think we may add on a little bit. Like, um, go first. I'm Courtney. I'm about to be 35 tomorrow
Happy
in
birthday.
3 hours. Thank you.
Ugh.
Um, I have two small kids, and I'm a stay-at-home mom. So being on this podcast kind of gives me a little bit of something more than just my family to focus on, and a little bit more of a purpose. Not I mean, a purpose, not like, "This is my
Something to do.
purpose, I will be the greatest." It's something to do that's for me and in my interests and not just for my family. So, um, I have my beautiful puppy who has abandoned me for my own bed because she is
That's her bedtime
mad.
too.
I know, right? Um, but yeah, that's, uh oh, fun fact, I will reference it a lot, and so will my sisters. I only have 9 fingers.
Oh.
Yep.
I
She
had
does.
an amputation done, what, about 9 years ago? It's a long story, NDAs were signed. Um, I'm not gonna get into it. I tell everybody a different story.
The shark attack.
I am yes, a shark attack, I've told, I really like to tell this to guys who are super, "Women should be in the kitchen barefoot and pregnant," and I'll tell them that I dropped an engine on it, and they're like, "W what?" Some of them short circuit, it's pretty great. Also, another fun fact about me, I used to be a mechanic. I was a mechanic and worked in the, auto industry for 8 years, so kinda a lot of fun, and then when you get part of your dominant hand taken off, it kinda doesn't make life easy to be um, to be in the industry anymore, so I
Yeah.
had kids. I flipped the script on all of them.
There you go.
Um,
Chelsea, you wanna go
yeah, and I
or
gonna say
Courtney,
I'm
sorry.
I've
We're done.
ADHD, so thoughts don't end sometimes.
Yeah.
And I hate to disappoint, but sometimes I will start on one train of thought and the end of the circle is like an S. They will never meet, and you will never know the end of that story ever again in your life, and I hope everyone is okay with that.
Over.
I love that. I
I'll
love it.
mute my mic now so I can't say anything else.
Yeah, so my name is Chelsea. I am the oldest. I am 37. So when I say oldest, like I'm not that old, okay? Um, but I have 5 kids. 3 are biologically mine, 2 are my bonus boys. Um, 2 of them are grown adults, and my husband and I have 3 in the house right now. Um, I am the epitome of a busy mom. We have sports at least 4 days a week. I mean, practices 5 days a week. We get into some seasons where we have practices all week, uh, tournaments on the weekends. Uh, my husband plays softball. Like we just don't rest. We like being active and busy, and we have made so many great friends from that. But yeah, when it comes down to it, this this is kind of my time that I get to spend with my sisters. I don't get that any other time, really. They live an hour and a half away. Um, we see
On a
each
good
other.
Yeah.
Yeah, like today was not an hour and a half. Um,
Mm-mm.
so yeah, busy mom. I right now am I do medical billing from home, trying to get my foot in the door for corrections. That's been something I've been working on for a while. So I don't have free time. So this is definitely like I said, my time to spend with my sisters. So take it or leave it. I'm here, for them and to enjoy that time.
Which is
Um,
a miracle in and of itself.
Yeah.
it really, truly finding a spare hour in my day is, it's something. Like I said, my kids play all the sports. We have wrestlers, baseball, football. Um, I mean, it doesn't stop. We have one in
Fast
college
pitch,
right now.
soccer.
Yep. We have one in college right now. He's playing baseball. So yeah, we have one that's a full-blown adult about to turn 21, living his life. So we are very busy. But yeah, we wouldn't trade it for the world. So I just hope y'all bear with me sometimes with my stories because like I said, research and all of that is time that I make because I enjoy with my girls. So, I don't have a lot of fun facts about me. I'm obsessed with corgis. There we go. That's a fun fact.
Fun fact about you, you are a horse genius. Another fun fact about you, you, are a very, very, very good amateur photographer. So,
Yeah.
throw those out there.
Yeah.
She had many, many, many medals and ribbons from many years of showing horses, so
Yep.
don't and
Yep.
she had owned retired racehorses and trained horses, so don't let her don't
Yeah.
she's humbling herself if she doesn't need to.
I feel like that was a lifetime ago, but, yeah, I do miss that a little bit, and eventually one day when my kids aren't so busy, I'll find that hobby again, I'm sure, but, yeah, that was a while ago for sure. I do photography mostly because that keeps me active at my kids' sporting activities. Um, my favorite is when they ask, "Did you get good pictures of me?" And we get to chat about it and relive some of the game and, or their match or however. So that's kind of my in with all of my kids because 'cause
Well, you
I'm
see
not
things
cool.
oh,
Yeah,
well, you
I'm
see
not cool
things that
anymore.
not everybody doesn't see during the game,
Yeah.
and you can get the close-ups and the
Just that
facial
rough
expressions
moment
and
of, like,
Yeah, yeah.
the look or the moment, it's just, like, some of the shots you've gotten have been so cool.
Mhm.
Yeah, I really enjoy it because, like I said, I have bonus kids and, I didn't have them as babies, and so sometimes you have to make that relationship a little bit differently, and that was the way that, we kinda started our relationship is at sports. They would, "Hey, did you get any pictures of me?" or, "Did you get any of my friend?" or and I, gladly could say yes, and they would chit chat with me and look through them, and that was kind of my in with them, so I'll take it.
Yeah. It's hard with teenagers, man, take what you can get.
I always will. I'll always be grateful for any time I get, so,
Yeah.
yeah, that's me. So,
Bruce.
Bruce, what about you?
Alright, well, my real name is Kendall. A lot of people call me Kenny, these 2 call me Bruce, so that's pretty much what I'll probably be going by on here is Bruce. I am a mother to 1 beautiful, happy little girl. She is 18 months old, 19 months old now. She's born on Valentine's Day. I love that fact about her. Um,
Yeah, she was.
yeah, so just a family of 3, living in the middle of nowhere, but 5 minutes from one of these 2 from Courtney. But,
Boop, boop.
I work in the fashion industry. I am I live and breathe fashion. I love clothes, I love bags, shoes, whatever. Like, I love people having the ability to make themselves feel a certain way by what they put on. And, you know, whether that's you feel confident in sweatpants and a hoodie, but you have a great handbag, great. If you need to be dressed to the nines, makeup done and high heels on, amazing. Like whatever you want to do. But right now I'm working in fashion tech. So it's from home. It's really nice to be with my girl and with my husband every day. And shockingly, we're not sick of each other yet. But um, yeah, again, fun facts about me. I'm not really sure other than fashion.
You
So,
lived in Ireland, you've been all over the place,
I did live in
you
Ireland. Yeah,
Mhm.
lived in downtown Seattle for the longest time.
I did. That was a great experience. That's where my husband and I met was in downtown Seattle where when we were in college, and he works in the video game industry, so you'll at some point probably hear us talk about some kind of video games. He gives all the nephews and nieces games for good grades and stuff like
Yes, it
that.
does.
So
We
he
get
got
very emotional about Mario Party, so
yeah,
you'll probably hear
yeah.
talks about some scraps on there.
Yeah, he's both a sore loser and a sore winner. It's a gift. So,
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
he's a sore everything, just
Yeah,
in
pretty much.
general.
So, no, it's just we like to have fun. I like to I read a lot. That's a great we all do, really. But,
Yeah.
Yeah.
read as much as I can, and, it's kinda that's my true escape from all things because I can just lose myself in a book, in a story, and, again, I think that's true for all of us, but, um yeah, no, I'm just excited to be doing this because, we've always been really weird. Like, all 3 of us have just been some weird ass motherfuckers, so it's kind of fun to get together and just talk about weird shit and, if there's, again, topics that anybody has, in mind, I think, if it's cool, like, I'll just announce what we're doing next week, and we're just gonna do some stories on somewhere from where we've lived in the past. So, um
We've all lived in very different places.
very much so. We've all had very, very different lives, and, uh I don't did I mention how old I was? I'm 32. Am I 32?
Oh my
Yes, I'm
god.
32.
Please, dear God.
That's supposed to be my thing. Wait a minute, I'm
I thought for a
like,
second, I was like, "Wait, no, I'm 31." I was like, "No, no," I had to remember what year it was. No, I am 32. Uh, yeah, so, yeah, no, we're really weird, we always have been, reading weird things, talking to each other about weird things, especially local stuff has always been something we've all really enjoyed, so this is gonna be a lot of fun just getting together and talking about where some
Oh,
random
yeah.
shit.
I don't know if you guys know, fun little sidetrack of weird things. When mom and I were living with grandma and grandpa Bob, uh, I rented Helter Skelter from the library. She found it and she was like, "Absolutely fucking not. You
Mom or
take that
grandma?
book back right now." Mom, she was like, "Your grandma would literally shit if she finds this in her house. Please go hide it in your car, wrap it in a sweatshirt or whatever." So, the next day, I told her I took it back to the library,
No.
and I didn't. I tucked it under her pillow. She was so mad. I was so tempted to go buy, like, 3 more copies, and, like, so it
Hide 'em
didn't
throughout
say it
your
was
house.
from the library, it just was a copy. But no, I
yes.
I hid it under her pillow, and I thought I was gonna have to call an ambulance
You know she's
because
gonna listen to this.
I
oh,
hope
oh,
not.
she knows now. She very well knows now.
I hope
Oh,
She's well
no.
aware at this point in our lives.
yeah.
But yeah, no, yeah. Weird, honestly, we're weird. I mean,
If you met our
I
husbands, you know they're weird. Yeah.
They are
I
weird.
literally have a picture behind me of where we come from in weird. It is our great-grandpa's, s College of Mortuary Science, class of 1946. Um, Whole class I have headshots of all the people he graduated with, so, I feel like weird runs in our blood, not to
Yeah.
mention in the 1500s, on our mom's side, we ran into, the Frankensteins, however they would say it back then.
Frankensteins.
Um, the person, obviously, not the monster,
Yeah.
but, I feel like the monster rears its head out of my children quite a bit. Um,
And you.
I was gonna say, girl, please don't cut yourself
uh,
short on that one.
that's the tism
Uh, or the
and the
Frankenstein.
ADHD.
Uh-huh.
Ugh, honestly, I mean, our mother literally would spend her summers in a funeral home,
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah.
and she totally thought that was normal. Literally, they would be eating
George
breakfast, and
Washington.
in the room right next door is where they would be embalming bodies.
Yeah.
So, I mean, she thinks she's normal, I think she's full of it, and here, this we are the product of
If she ever told me she thought she was normal, I would laugh in her face.
I just don't think normal is something to strive for, though. Like,
No, since
that's
I don't
weird.
wanna be. Yeah, hard
Yeah.
pass.
Yeah.
Anyway, how about we let if there's anybody still listening, how about we let these poor saps go home?
And join us
And,
next week.
Yeah.
So we can talk about some
It's
very
past my bedtime.
yep, and I believe if it wasn't mentioned, sorry, I'm getting last minute popcorn thoughts. At the end of each episode, we will either have a, like, randomized drawing of our the next episode's topic. Um, after we let that go, if you wanna maybe shoot us emails if you have any ideas,
Mm.
feel free, help us out, you know? So, I just appreciate everybody. If you're still here, hello, and we will stop holding your eardrums hostage. So, thank you for listening to us
Thanks.
yammer on, and we hope to have you
Stay,
back next week listening to Once Upon a Weird.
and I hope you
Adios, y'all.
stay weird.
Mhm.